Welcome back, everyone. In today's video, I want to talk about sharpening a brush hog. Should you sharpen or should you not sharpen? Now, I'm out there on a lot of the Facebook forums and the compact tractor subgroups and things like that, and this topic comes up from time to time. It's a very polarizing topic. There seems to be people that, say absolutely do not sharpen your brush hog blades. There's no need to. That's not what it's made for. It's not made for cutting grass. It's not a finish mower, it's not a flail mower, all those things. And then you have people that are on my side of the argument or the debate that say you should. So probably like many of you, out here at Piney Grove, we don't have an implement for every single instance where you need a specialized piece of equipment. I have a brush hog, I don't have a finish mower, I don't have a flail mower, and I'd love to have all them. I'd love to have a sickle bar mower, but I don't. And it becomes cost prohibitive not only to buy those implements, but also to maintain them, to store them out of the weather. So you get the job done with the things that you have. And what we have out here at Piney Grove is a brush hog. So we use that brush hog to do heavy brush, and we have lots of videos out there. I'll link them right here, where we do some extreme brush hogging here in Piney Grove and also on my 1,200 acre hunting lease. And then I also have my nicer brush hog, which I try to keep out of that thick extreme brush and stumps and dirt, to mow the grass out here or mow the pastures. It's bahia grass, it's a real tough grass. So if you're in the camp of, yes, you should sharpen your brush hog blades, why should you do it? And I'll give you 3 reasons why. So number 1, just like your lawn at your home, the cleaner you cut the grass, the quicker it will recover from being cut, the less likely that disease will get into it, and just you'll have a more healthy grass. And that's important to us out here at Piney Grove. We cleared all these pine trees, we put down lime, we put down fertilizer, we hand spread all this bahia grass seed, and we want a nice, clean, beautiful pasture for future animals, but also for the aesthetics of it. We like a clean, green pasture. And we don't want to introduce disease in there because we didn't feel like sharpening our mower blades. Reason number 2 is there's only 2 blades on the brush hog. They're opposing each other, they're not very long, and they don't spin very fast. So you don't have a lot of lift and you don't have a lot of mulching effect with the brush hog. So when that grass is clipped, it's pretty much laid out behind. But if it does suspend it all before that second blade comes around, you don't want a dull blade to impact that and just kind of crush it. You want it to chop through it cleanly. So that's another reason why I like to have sharp blades on my brush hog, is for that mulching effect. So every time that blade hits that grass, it's going to chop it up in a little bit. When we brush hog our pastures, we don't do it for haying or anything like that. So we want those particles to be as small as possible so they break down quickly, and those nutrients that are in those green grass particles go down and help build the soil. And the third reason why I think you should sharpen your brush hog blades is so that it cuts your grass quickly and efficiently, and it's less strain on your tractor. Now I have a 40 horsepower tractor. It's really a 39 horsepower tractor. It's the Kubota L Series L3901, and this is a 5-foot brush hog. But I can tell you, when this thing gets dull and you hit a patch of heavy grass, and we have some patches out here because our land is not flat, that water pools in certain areas, nutrients pool in certain areas, so the grass grows better in the low areas than the high areas, and you can hit those patches and you can feel the tractor bogged down from this 5-foot brush cutter. And you can definitely tell the difference between sharp blades and dull blades because it'll bog down quicker or more often. So that's why we sharpen blades. Now, the other side of the camp says you sharpen blades, you'll wear them out. A brush cutter is supposed to, just bluntly hit stuff and break it off. And I would say for brush and stumps and when you're in dirt a lot, you're probably not going to sharpen them every day because you're just going to wear your blades too quickly. So in mowing 5 acres out here today, I'll sharpen the blades in the beginning and I'll probably touch them up halfway through. And if I haven't hit any dirt or anything, they'll still be reasonably sharp. So I can get through a whole day with 2 sharpenings, and the second sharpening is going to be just a touch-up. Now, if I were to hit brush, logs, dirt, rocks, that type of stuff, you'll actually see indentations in the blade and you'll have to grind a lot more off. But don't be scared to grind your blades because you'll eventually have to put new blades on, because blades are not that expensive and they're really not that hard to change. You can change them through the top deck here, through holes in the top deck, or you can drop your whole stump jumper and change them. I've done it 4 or 5 times, and the next time I do it out here in Piney Grove, I'll show you, but it's not that hard a process. So don't not sharpen because you're scared you'll have to replace your blades. Because I do a lot of brush hogging, and you can probably go, 3 or 4 years before you'd have to replace blades if you sharpen them every time. But enough talking, let me show you how I sharpen. It's a real simple process. I bought a DeWalt 20-volt grinder. If I want to sharpen blades out in the field rather than always coming up here to the mega shed, I can do it easily. And we're not sponsored by DeWalt, bought this with our own money, but we do have an Amazon link below. If you like this product, then you could use our Amazon link. Doesn't cost you a penny more, but this is a great product. I've just got a standard grinding blade on it and a 5 amp hour battery, and this thing just really does the trick, and it's really handy. But enough talking, let's get underneath here and sharpen the blades real quick. But the first thing I did is I got 2 6x6 blocks and put up under the brush hog, and that's just so it doesn't fall on me. The hydraulics of the tractor should hold it up, no problem, but just to be safe, I put those blocks there. I do have on safety glasses, and I am gonna put on gloves. But you have 2 cutting edges, as I said. Here's your blade. It's fairly sharp because I mowed the pastures with it last time, and I really haven't hit anything. But I simply look at the angle that's on there and mimic that angle and just grind along here. What I'm trying to do here is not create a super sharp blade like a knife. What I want to do is have like a 45-degree angle. I want to keep this as blunt as possible, but yet have this leading edge to be sharp. If you have too thin a blade going in, if you do hit a stump or a rock, it's just going to ding and bend the heck out of it. So I'm going to hit this a little bit more and it'll be done, but it doesn't take much grinding at all to make a fairly sharp blade really sharp. It's getting there. I'm going to do a little bit more. Okay, that's a continuous, smooth, sharp blade. I hold my grinder at this angle right here and just run it along that edge, just like that. Got a nice sharp edge there, but not too sharp. And hopefully I'm capturing the angle. And that's the factory angle, and I'm just maintaining that and just coming deeper into this metal and taking off any sort of irregularities along this blade here. I actually feel a little bump right there, so I'm going to grind off the bottom. And that'll do it. That's how you sharpen a brush hog blade. Spin it around, grab the other one, and you'll see this one is more blunt, got a little use on it. But this thing's been sharpened many times. You see I still have plenty of width on the blade. It's not tapered on the end. All done. Okay guys, I'm all set. As you can see, that's a very simple process. Just took me a couple minutes to sharpen those blades on this brush hog, and now I'm ready to mow these 5 acres out here on Piney Grove. If you like today's video, please give us a thumbs up at the bottom, subscribe if you haven't already, and share with your friends. Also, comment below. We'd love to hear from you. But otherwise, that's all I've got. Be safe out there, safe tractoring. We'll catch you on the next one. Take care, y'all.